The courtroom door felt heavier than it should have. I pushed it open in my only good suit, the wool one that smelled faintly of thrift store and hope. The air was cold, smelled of lemon polish and quiet power. My family sat in the front row like a royal tribunal. My mother, Eleanor, in Chanel. My father, Richard, in a Brioni suit. My golden child brother, Bradley, looking bored in Armani. Their lawyer, a shark in a $5,000 suit named Carson Wells, shuffled papers with the confidence of a man who bills by the minute. Mom saw me. She leaned over, whispered something. Dad didn't even look. He just rolled his eyes, a gesture of pure, practiced dismissal. I was an inconvenience, a bug at their picnic. They thought I'd crumble. They thought I'd walk in, overwhelmed, and sign over the $1.8 million trust fund my grandfather left me, the one that dwarfed their combined inheritance. They'd filed for conservatorship, claiming I was financially incompetent, a danger to myself. I set my briefcase on the defendant's table, 3 folders inside, color-coded tabs. They had no idea what was in those folders. The bailiff stood. "All rise." The judge entered, a sharp-eyed woman with a no-nonsense demeanor. She sat, reviewed her notes. "This is a petition for conservatorship filed by Eleanor and Richard Vance," she began. She looked at me. "Miss Vance, you are appearing pro se?" I stood, my voice clear in the silent room. "No, Your Honor. I am counsel of record. I was admitted to the bar in January." The silence that followed was absolute, then shattered by my mother's choked gasp. Bradley's smirk vanished. Carson Wells's pen stilled on his legal pad. The judge's eyebrows lifted. "Proceed." The setup. To understand the war, you need the battlefields. My grandfather, Arthur Ace Vance, was a self-made man who saw through facades. He saw Bradley, the charismatic future finance bro, for what he was, entitled and shallow. He saw me, Sloan, working 2 jobs through community college for what I was, gritty and real. "Charm fades, kid," he'd tell me over milkshakes. "Grit is forever, and always keep receipts." When he died, his will was a masterpiece. Bradley got the Palm Springs condo. My parents got the liquid investment portfolio. I got the Education and Foundation Trust, seeded decades ago. Dry legal language that hid a truth. My share was worth $1.8 million, more than the rest combined. The family dinner where the lawyer explained it was the last time we broke bread. My mother's smile was a rictus. "That's a lot for someone so young to manage, Sloan. We should consolidate for family harmony." Their family harmony agreement was a theft in bullet points. I'd transfer my trust to a family management account. They'd give me a $2,500 monthly allowance from my own money. When I refused, my father's mask dropped. "Then we'll do this the hard way." Carson Wells filed the petition. Financially reckless, easily influenced, a danger of squandering the legacy. The lies were notarized and official. The fallout was immediate. My job at the nonprofit put me on administrative leave. My social media blew up with Bradley's vague posts about protecting family legacies from vultures. The pressure was a vice. I almost broke. Then I opened the binder Grandpa Ace gave me 5 years ago, the In Case of Emergency binder. On page 23, section 7D, in bold, forfeiture clause. Any beneficiary who initiates legal action to deprive another beneficiary of their share shall immediately and irrevocably forfeit their entire interest in this trust. In the margin, in his blue ink scrawl, "Trust but verify, kid. Love, Ace." He knew. He'd planned for this. The nuclear option. I sent them a letter, 1 page, the clause highlighted, a 48-hour deadline to withdraw their suit. They doubled down. They filed an amended petition claiming undue influence, that Grandpa was senile, that I'd manipulated a confused old man. They attached a shady doctor's affidavit. That's when I stopped playing defense. My 72-hour blitz began. 1. The forgery. Their key evidence was a trust amendment, giving them control. A quick call to the retired notary in Arizona. I never signed that. A $300 forensic analysis confirmed it. Digitally traced signature, paper manufactured after Grandpa's death. 2. The motive. Public records are a treasure trove. Bradley's can't-miss startup? Bankrupt, with a $425,000 judgment. My parents' mansion, in pre-foreclosure. Their investment account? Liquidated after a catastrophic margin call. They weren't greedy, they were broke. My $1.8 million was their life raft. 3. The counterattack. I filed a devastating counterpetition, breach of fiduciary duty, fraud upon the court, and the enforcement of Section 7D, the forfeiture clause. I requested all their trust distributions be frozen immediately. I worked through the nights, fueled by cold fury and cheap coffee. I was no longer just Sloan, the disappointing daughter. I was Sloan Vance Esquire, and I was about to dismantle their world with their own greed. The reckoning. Back in the courtroom, I opened my folders. Folder 1, red tab, the forfeiture clause. I handed it to the clerk. Their petition is the triggering event, Your Honor. Folder 2, yellow tab, the forged amendment. I projected it side by side with the original. This document is fraudulent. Here is the notary's affidavit and the forensic report. The judge read the report, her lips a thin line. She looked at Carson Wells. Counselor? Explanation? Wells stammered about new evidence and needing time. Denied. She turned to my parents. You submitted a forged instrument to this court. You sought to use this court to steal from your daughter. My mother started to cry. Real tears of shock, not performance. The judge's gavel fell. The petition is dismissed with prejudice. The forfeiture clause in Section 7D is enforced. The petitioner's shares are revoked. Furthermore, I am sanctioning the petitioner's $25,000 for litigation abuse and referring this matter to the district attorney for potential fraud charges. The sound wasn't loud, but it echoed forever. I didn't look at them as I packed my briefcase. The victory wasn't sweet. It was austere and clean and terribly sad. The aftermath. The forfeiture was absolute. The condo, the investment, all flowed into the trust's contingent beneficiary, the Arthur Ace Vance Foundation for First-Generation Students. Bradley filed for bankruptcy. He manages a cell phone store now. My parents sold the mansion and moved into a rented townhouse. The DA pursued charges. They avoided jail through a restitution deal, but their reputations were ash. I used part of my trust to fully fund the Scholarship Foundation. The first awards were given last month. I used the rest to buy a small, sun-filled cottage by the sea. I opened my own practice, specializing in estate law, protecting people from their families. My mother sends emails occasionally. I hope you're well. No apology, no accountability. I reply with polite, distant courtesy. My father doesn't speak to me. Some people would rather lose everything than admit they were wrong. I keep Grandpa's picture on my desk, not the one from the Christmas card Bradley posted, but a candid one of him laughing, a fishing rod in his hand. He didn't just leave me money. He left me a weaponized truth, that love shouldn't come with a price tag, and that the best defense against those who want to break you is an unassailable, well-documented offense. I kept the receipts, and I won. The greatest inheritance isn't money, it's the truth documented. If you've ever been underestimated by those who should know you best, your quiet strength is your superpower. For more stories of breathtaking legal revenge and reclaiming your legacy, hit subscribe. Your story isn't over. It's just getting good.